Dr. Markey Pierre is a trailblazer, pioneer, author, and an award-winning business owner. She has successfully bridged the gap between North and South Louisiana by developing effective strategies to achieve meaningful changes for client initiatives as the president and managing partner for Southern Strategy Group of North Louisiana. Throughout her extensive career, she has been a strategist, a fundraiser for a broad spectrum of highly visible campaigns across both party and geographical lines. Dr. Pierre is the 2018 recipient of the coveted Virginia K. Sheehy Most Influential Woman Award. She is also a 2003 alumna of the highly respected Cable Leadership Louisiana class and has worked on the transition teams for the current and several former Louisiana governors. A native of Princeton, Louisiana, Dr. Pierre received her Bachelor's of Science in Business Administration from Louisiana Tech University, her Master's in Business Administration from Nova Southeastern in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and finally her doctorate in Business Administration from Walden University. Dr. Pierre has been a member of the Bipsy Foundation Board of Directors since 1999 and has established a scholarship in honor of her grandmother. While she has received numerous awards and accolades from the community, what she believes matters most is that in all you have done, were you able to help someone in the process? Did you make a difference? Graduates, families, and friends, please join me in a warm Bipsy welcome for Dr. Markey Pierre.
I have to get my glasses because I can't see anything without them. Thank you to Dr. Bateman, to Jennifer for this invitation to share with you today. Thank you to the most distinguished honored faculty and staff members that are here today for all that you have done, and to our distinguished guests. Thank you for being here. As I stand before you today, I am so proud of each and every one of you. I know what it takes and how hard it is to do this and to see it through. And you have done that just over the course of many, many months that you have had to put your time in. And for that, I have the distinct honor of congratulating you and saluting the stars of today's show. The most esteemed 2018 graduates of Bossier Parish Community College who are celebrating today the triumph of education. As a member of the Bipsy Foundation Board of Directors for the last 20 years, I am so proud of the medallions that I see that are out there. I have to tell you, I remember when we were on Airline Drive and scraping and scrounging to raise money for scholarships for education for our students. And I remember when we were just the grades 13 and 14, and we only had $2,000 in the bank. It's amazing to see all of you today and what the foundation has done, because it is through those medallions that we recognize and acknowledge your hard work and commitment to excellence and graduation. I am proud to have played a very small role in helping to achieve your dreams. You all should be very, very proud of yourselves today, because today is truly a milestone in your life's journey. I can only imagine the mix of emotions that you have, that you must be feeling at this time. The unbridled joy, the unmistakable sense of utter relief that it's over. I can only imagine the things that you had to go through to make it to this day. The highs, the lows, the triumphs, the challenges, the celebrations, the devastations. And no, I'm not just talking about your love lives. It's all the papers that you wrote, the many tests that have been taken, that the the caffeine-fueled all-nighters. Do you remember those intense moments when you first arrived and all of the anxiety that you felt as you first set out on this campus to make new friends? You looked to find friends that you clicked with in a new environment and a new community that you called your own. And for so many of you, I know that graduating from college was not necessarily a foregone conclusion. Some of you came from high schools that didn't send very many kids to college, and some of you had to work hard full-time so that you could not only pay for college but also support your families. This is not lost on me. You know, in this day and this time, it is easy to waste our time, our lives, our days, our hours, and our minutes away. It's so easy for us to take for granted the opportunities that we have at our fingertips that have been afforded to each and every one of us. So on this day, December 6, 2018, I issue you this challenge to the class of 2018. How will you use the responsibility of your education? I'm reminded of a statement that was shared with me long ago by my grandmother. She told me that education is a privilege. It's a privilege that unfortunately continues to remain unavailable to many people in the world today. In her viewpoint, the educated had a responsibility to advocate for those less fortunate, not because that they were superior in any way, but because those who are less fortunate often have to devote all of their efforts to survival with little free time or energy to spare to improve their situations. I was raised by my grandparents, and I literally hang off of every word that they shared with me that I can actually remember. You see, neither one of them graduated from high school, but they had enough sense and understood that in order for their children and grandchildren to be successful, that we needed to educate ourselves and not squander away our opportunities. And so after repeating the statement in my head over and over again because it had resonated with me, I knew that I was supposed to get something out of what she said. You know how your parents say something to you and they look at you and they look at you for a long time to make sure that you heard them? Well, that's what my grandmother did to me. And so she used to always talk about responsibility, and it was my responsibility. So I allowed myself to play with those words in some new ways. And I thought about this word for a few years as I attended college over and over and over again, because I was determined to discover the secrets, the secrets of that word. I find myself saying it over and over again in the shower. I told it to my pretend goldfish. For those of you who don't know me, I have this beautiful fish tank that have no fish. I love looking at it, but it takes so much to keep up the fish in the fish tank that it have no fish. So I talked to my pretend goldfish about it. I wrote the word over and over again on my imaginary blackboard in my mind, and I wrote it on paper. And then gradually, I discovered that the word responsibility actually composed two different words: response and ability. Or if you flip those words around, your ability to respond. Wow! I had just had an aha moment, and it only taken me about 7 years to figure it out. As I have grown, I've learned who I am and what I like. I have learned to challenge myself to reach my full potential, and guess what? I'm not there yet. I'm still doing it right now, because just as I reach one goal, I look back at my life's plan that I created for myself, and I find that I have to keep going because there's something inherently inside of me that keeps me driving to say, I've got to keep trying. I've got to continue to try to make a difference. You see, that's what life does. It teaches you to be who you are. It took me a little while to understand that lesson, but it really is about your everyday experiences. Every moment, every instant, every flash, every split second. It is the experiences that you have that teach you who you are. You see, in our time on this earth is limited. So don't waste it living it on someone else's life. There's a songwriter that sings a song called Pressure. And it simply says that I need to rid myself of the pressure to be someone else that God has not made me to be. Don't waste your time trying to be someone that God did not create you to be. If I could give you just one piece of advice that you would write down today, write this. Don't ever let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most importantly, have the courage to follow your heart, your intuition, and your dreams. Your life is truly a journey. It's a journey that will be filled with excitement as you are experiencing today, but it will also be filled with disappointments. Let's be clear, life is tough. It's brutal. It will hurt you. It will beat you down. It will wound you and make you feel as if you have no hope. But it is up to you to turn your wounds into wisdom. Every graduation is a celebration of a person's growth in new response abilities. And with these new abilities, you have gained to respond comes new forms of power that you did not have before. A new capacity to be different, to be a different kind of presence right here and right now. On the surface, it may look as if you are all graduating with similar responsibilities. You've all taken some of the similar tests. You've practiced similar skills. You plan to take boards or you have taken them. However, once the parties and the celebrations are over, when the pace of life has slowed down a little bit more and you have a chance to catch your breath, I invite you to ask yourself, what are your unique individual new abilities to respond? How has this educational experience changed you as a person? What are your personal new wings of power that can only get stronger if they are stretched and they are used? Ladies and gentlemen, create the highest and the grandest vision possible for your life, because you become what you believe. Today, a day filled with possibilities and dreams, I leave you with a few questions. Am I going to embrace this journey called life? Or am I going to do the same stuff day after day? As Otis Redding sings, I am sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, I'm just sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. What will you do? Thank you for allowing me to share a piece of your journey. My heartiest congratulations to you on this day, and may we all discover many new response abilities. Thank you.